All right, this is a resume review. This is a resume review of John Smith #2 because I got a lot of John Smiths here. This is they actually sent me a little bit different. Normally, I ask for the job titles. They sent me what they want to do and medical science liaison as a title. So basically, the only thing I was able to get from that is medical science liaison. So I am going to judge this resume based on a resume science liaison. There's a lot of differences in resume science, not resume, in medical science liaisons. I am not going to get that word right. And the big thing is there's going to be a lot of industry specific stuff. So there's going to be a large variety on if you're applying for stuff like oncology or, mental health. So there's going to be a lot of industry specific, but there is some commonalities that I found. One, we want to make sure that you have like clinical trial in there. There's a lot of stuff about speaking with stakeholders, decision makers, or leadership. So those are the three keywords. And there's also going to be a lot of 3-letter acronyms, but specifically the one I saw multiple times is MSL. It could also be CNS, HCP, RIG, FDA. Do I know what any of those mean besides FDA? No. But it doesn't matter because the recruiter is going to be looking for those types of things. And I have recruited for Agilent before, which is a biopharma company. So I am actually kind of used to resumes like this. And immediately the problem with high degreed people, and I don't mean this as an insult, John Smith, is that you overcomplicate the resume and there's a lot of stuff here. And that makes it very hard for the recruiter who is the first line person to see your resume. You need to make your resume based on two people. One is the recruiter, one is the hiring manager. And this format is not great. So the first thing is you have so many keywords here that they almost become redundant because I cannot find what I need to find. I found pharmacovigilance. There's so much here that I can't actually find it. Same with this. This is fine. I think I'm not a fan of summaries. Scientist resumes may be one of those quick exceptions, but this is too much. Like, just a line or two of your specific industry, if it's oncology, if it's mental health, that kind of thing. Because this doesn't help me. I don't need you to tell me you have the ability to influence C-leaders and stakeholders through exceptional communication. That means nothing. I need you to show it to me in the bullet points. Committed to leading strategic groups, patient. I don't. Not being cruel. I don't care if you're committed or not. These are nothings. These don't help. The dynamic doesn't help. A clinical specialist with over 5 years of experience in life sciences might be okay, and that's honestly the only thing I really want to maybe keep. So down to the other one, your job title is Senior Territory Manager. Recruiters may not know that could be transferable to a medical trial liaison. That word again. Oh my gosh. Medical science liaison. They may not know. So we may have to change that job title to something that is more accurate. Forge strategic relationships with regulatory affairs team. What does forged mean? Did you fight orcs together with them side by side and you threw a ring into a volcano? I don't know. Forged is too fancy. You don't want to use fancy words. I know everybody tells you to use fancy words. You shouldn't use fancy words like that. Like, just use basic forms. So, forged strategic partnerships with regulatory affairs team to ensure timely and accurate submission of adverse event data. Bolstering compliance with, these are keywords that I'm looking for. Are these any of the ones? No, but these might be some of the ones I'd be looking for if I was the recruiter. So this part right here is important. The GCP, ICH, CFF part. In fact, out of your entire resume so far to get to this point, sorry for the formatting, the only thing I found that was useful is this, GCP, ICH, CFR, and the fact that you mentioned CC leaders. Everything else is junk. I don't see any of this that would be helpful. You see clinical trials, and I have to go like nearly halfway down to find this. You bury it. Led cross-functional collaborations to develop tailored core content that directly addressed customer needs, significantly improving the effectiveness of medical disinformation to healthcare, dissemination, not disinformation, to healthcare professionals, and enhancing patient outcomes. That's solid. I actually like that. It's just there's so much other stuff because that does show that you're with patients. It shows you led those things. So I like that. Exemplified unwavering commitment. I don't know. To professional development by proactively staying abreast of evolving regulatory I literally just want to say that, like, kept abreast of regulatory guidelines such as XYZ in industry Y, X, and Z. That is what I want from the second sentence. I don't want fortified. I don't want exemplified. I don't want forged. I use non-crazy adjectives. Just be basic with it. Your resume is a form at the DMV. It is not a marketing tool. If you use your resume as a marketing tool, you will fail. I've seen plenty of crazy successful marketers try to get jobs and fall flat on their face because they use it as a marketing tool. Key highlights. Okay, navigated, like, they're already in bullet points. You don't need this key highlight section. Navigated the transition from diabetes and neurology. These are good keywords. I like diabetes and neurology. And kidney, demonstrating agility and strategic foresight. I need you to tell me. Okay, so I'm not going to go further because I can tell this is already the problem with this. I would say a normal recruiter may read up to here, maybe. And the only things I saw were the regulations, the diabetes, chronic disability. There's like nothing in here I'd actually want. Format-wise, I'm showing you a resume format that I have used. And this is what I want you to do. I want your first and last name. I want your phone number. I want your email. And then I want either your LinkedIn profile or your portfolio or your link to all the papers you've done that's kind of industry, but in this one, it's probably going to be LinkedIn. Then I want to see your citizenship status, the city and state you're located in. Then I want to see your education and certificates. Do not make this longer than 3 lines. Especially for these positions, you need to show that you have a PhD or a master's. In fact, I don't even know, where do I have to scroll down to find that? You have a doctorate. You're a doctor. PhD. I need that up top. Like, this should be right here. Then I want to see work history bolded, title of the company, the state, the month to year, and then I just want to see a summary sentence about what you do. Tell me, a dummy who has no idea what you do, what your actual job is, right? I need to know, and I don't want fancy stuff. I just want some basic, like, what were you? I don't even know. You were said it was wrong, and now a senior territory manager, right? You just say something like managed customers in a geographic area where I coach them on our tools and increase sales, or something like that. Then I want to see a keyword bullet point. These are going to be your federations. FDA, GLC, XPC, whatever the 3 letters are that are going to be for your type of industry, you're going to put them there. Specifically, there is a lot of different ones, so this is going to determine on which one you want to go into. I want to see stuff about oncology, kidneys, diabetes, that kind of thing. And then tools used here if you need to. Just use like Excel and that kind of thing because you still need it. And I want you to do that all the way down. I want it to be like this, and this is an example as a barista, right? I understand that is far and away not what you do, but I want you to write your resume like this barista resume, because this barista resume gets people jobs from being a barista, sales associate, all the way up to like a PhD. This is how it's going to look like, right? Education here, you have your work history, cashier at Large Ducks Coffee, so I don't get sued. And the first one is going to be a summary sentence, as if somebody has never heard of somebody who makes coffee, which I know, whatever, some people may not have. And it's going to be operated or point of sale, POS, cash register, which is a keyword for them, to collect money from customers and perform basic math, which is also a keyword for them, to give proper change, keeping them engaged with customer service, which is a keyword, while they prepare their food and beverages. Then handled a large lunch run by providing customer service and multitasking while making their food that resulted in multiple 5-star reviews on our Google page. I know you are a scientist who have gotten a lot of degrees, and your resume is very impressive, but I need you to write it like this, because it is entirely possible that the recruiter who recruits for this position is recruiting on multiple positions, has no idea what you do. The hiring manager will probably get it, but you might not even get to them. So I want you to write it like this. And I absolutely know that when you got your PhD, you had a friend or family member or a loved one or aunt and uncle, whatever, who asks you, "Oh, what did you do?" You're like, "Oh, I'm a scientist. I got a PhD." And they say, "Oh, so you just like look at like so you use a microscope and you just stare at it all day?" And you're like, "No, I find the cure for cancer, and I'm searching for the cure for cancer." Even though that is a massive oversimplification, you need to write your resume in a way for that person, right? I mean, like you are researching stuff. I need it that basic, and I don't want to do this to like rag on you, but I say this because the recruiter in charge, or even the manager if they're non-technical, will be having these thoughts in their head, and they don't know what you do. They cannot understand your qualifications. So I hope this was helpful to you. Again, I did not mean to just rage on your resume, but I wanted to say it now so that you don't have trouble finding positions later. And it's not like you're having a crazy amount. Like I think this is, you said, like 400 applications to 1 or 2 interviews, unless you wrote that a little differently. But I think this can be better and clearer. Now, the other thing that, because you're a scientist, you're going to want at the very bottom of your papers, that is going to be different based on a scientist. So you're just going to put your papers there. But I want it in this format. I want a basic, easy to read, Arial font. Just use Arial. 14 for this and bolded, then 12 for this, and then 10.5 for everything else. These are bolded, as you can see. I really wish you the best of luck. Biopharma is not great right now. So I want to make sure you have all the tools you have. If you need any more help, stop by my channel and I'd be glad to help you more. So, Headless Headhunter, I'm out. I wish you the best of luck.